Hello, welcome to my channel, Venus and Aries. And I am here to do a part 3, the last video, pre-uploaded video on roots. We're going to go further into the generations, part 3. Now, recap on part 2, I talked about Kizzy, her relationship with Chicken George, her relationship with the father, which is Tom Moore. I talked about Chicken George and Tom Moore relationship. I talked about Kizzy and the energy around her around the time of her living in the situation and how she was like a witch and she did a lot of ritual work. And yeah, she was very spiritual and very powerful. High priestess energy, okay? So in part 3, we're going to talk about Chicken George, Matilda, their children, Tom, and then I'm going to talk about Tom's daughter, which is Cynthia, and then her daughter, Cynthia's daughter, which is Bertha, and then Bertha having Alex Haley, right? So let's get started. If you're new to my channel, I do celebrity readings. I do readings like this, historical readings, and we do these historical readings to verify the accuracy of the historical facts to see if they are true or not. I am 97.1% accurate in my readings. I am not God, of course, which is why I say that. And so I would say these readings are correct, okay? So let's jump right into it. I do personal readings as well. You can email me at rosepetals10@gmail.com. The email link is in the description box as well. And so email me if you would like a reading. I send my prices and then we go from there, okay? I do charge for celebrity requested readings, you guys. But if you want to not pay and you have a celebrity question, try to catch me when I am live and I will answer your questions. I try to go live every other week. I don't go weekly. I go every other week, okay? I used to go once a month, but I'm going to make it my mission to go live every other week. I answer celebrity questions and I talk about whatever is in the cosmos or whatever you guys want to talk about. Spiritual questions, anything, okay? So let's get started. I will try, like I said, I will try to go live. I will start going live every other week now. If you do not want to pay for your celebrity questions or when you guys ask me to read on this celebrity, if you don't want to pay, it's $20. You send 2 to 3 questions and email me. If you don't want to pay, that's fine. But you just got to catch me on live every other week and you can ask your question, okay? We talk about whatever is in the cosmos when I go live. We talk, if you have spiritual questions, you have religion, anything you want to talk about, we talk about when we go live. You can ask your celebrity questions. I even answer personal questions, but that's a charge for that. I charge less when I go live, so you know if you want to ask your question, like okay, she live, fine. I'll be better in the personal, but I will be as much detailed as I can if you ask me a question on the live. All right, so let's jump into it, okay? So like I said, recap the last reading. Oh my goodness. Really? You want to start bothering me when I get on the channel. Okay. 1 second, you guys. All right, anyway. I feel a little... Hold on. All right, y'all, I had to straighten that situation out. I felt like something was trying to block me from getting started. And I'm like, So let's get started. Okay, so I did talk about Kizzy and her not having really a close relationship with Chicken George until he got sold off to England as a debt that Tom Moore had to pay. And then her relationship got closer, and then she had a better relationship with his 7 children. Okay, so let's go into the reading. Let's talk about when Chicken George was in London. Let's get into the situation where he ended up getting sold to London. Some people say it was 20 years. Some people say it was 25 years. He had 7 children. Let's get the energy around there. And, you know, the energy around him in London. Chicken George. I almost want to put these cards back, but I'm going to stick with it. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. All right. When he first got sold to England, he was lied to. He didn't know that he was paying off a debt. I feel like they told him that he was just going to go do. I feel like he was lied to. I can't particularly say the details, but he was lied to. He was supposed to go. He went to go pay off the father's debt, but he was told different. This is him going overseas to something new, a new territory, something. He went having a little bit of faith because he was told that he would, that he would be able to help or get free, or it was It was a lie about being free. I believe he was told that he would be free if he go to London for a certain amount of time, him and his family. And so he went in hopes, with great hopes, a lot of faith and hopes that what was promised to him would happen. Okay. But then I feel like his world was turned upside down because he ended up there longer than he expected. But then I felt like he got caught up having fun and celebrating, because it's not like this, like America, going to festivals, having fun, winning matches, celebrating and all that. But his world was still upside down. I do feel like when he was in London, he had a lot of fun. He felt young. He had a lot of adventures. I feel like it was great. But then I felt like as time went by, he started to wonder about his wife, his family, his children, his structure, his family, missing his wife, wondering about his children and their lives, but having a lot of fun in Europe. It's something about Europe that made him feel fun and stuff. I do see the energy of him sending love letters and trying to write to his family, but I feel like it may have gotten to them, but I feel like it may not have. So I do feel like Chicken George, this is him as he's old. I do feel like he stayed in London for 20 years. He comes back as an old guy. He gets freed from slavery, okay? But then he comes back upset because he finds out that, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 kids. I feel like he finds out his 7 children got sold for another work debt that his dad owed, okay? I also feel like he's upset because he comes back, finds out, I think a couple of children out of the 7 is sold. But then he gets his freedom. All right, let's keep going. That was the trip in London. Had more fun than, he would like to admit, but still felt lost. All right, give me the energy of Tom Moore when he comes back from London and finds out his children is sold. Kizzy is passed. Give me the energy around Chicken George when he comes back to his father, or Tom Moore's plantation. Angry. This look like Chicken George. Angry, impatient, temperamental, pissed. Trying to be patient but losing it. Everything is lost. Everything is not balanced. The farm is torn up. There's no money. There's no crops. It's super bad. Like he's judging. Honestly, when he first got there, the energy shows me that he thought like his family was sold off like further down south, or he thought that he probably would never see them again. This is the energy of him being upset because he's not able to make it to see Kizzy pass on. This is the energy of all that hard work and all the hard work he put into the land, all the hard work he watched his mother put into the land. This is him getting upset and having a bad temper because it's wasted. It's wasted. All that hard work wasted. That's what his energy is saying. There's no balance. There's no money. There's nobody around. Everybody's passed on. Here goes the Tom Moore. Here he goes, sitting in the house, broke, has lost everything, he's older now. He's lost everything. No money, you see how it's on top of the 2 of coins. No structure, no balance, no stability. Everything is broken down. But Chicken George isn't stuck anymore. He's free. I also see him in the energy like being sad about his mother, but his mother's free. And then I also see him in the energy of going within to try to connect with his mother and connect with her spiritually. I feel like he did. Yeah, I feel like he did. He connected with the mom spiritually, meditated, stood by her grave, had his cries, and then I see him going to go look for his wife. Here he goes in sad thought about his mother, thinking about how she was the high priestess, how she was spiritual, how he didn't get to see her pass on. Then he's having memories of his mom as a little girl to this grown woman that she's become. He thinks about all the past and the riches and all the manifesting she did and how it won't be the same no more now that she's here. So now Chicken George is in the energy of, okay, I'm not confident, because he literally remembers his mom was the Marie Laveau of 1800s and how she manifested and made things happen. Basically, she was the witch. And so now he doesn't have confidence because she's not here to do it no more. He's done his cries. He's had his sadness. Now he's going to move forward and go to his wife and children. All right. Give me the energy around Chicken George when he gets to... So Tom Moore tells him that he sells them to the Maury plantation. Give me the energy around Chicken George when he gets to the Maury plantation to see Tom and the rest of the children. Chicken George has 7 children. Now, Tom is not the oldest. I think he's the 4th child. But Alice Haley is Tom's grandchild. So it's Tom's, it's KUNTA KINTE's 7th generation grandchild from Tom, who has told the story. So that's why we're talking about them. But Tom is not even the oldest child. A full moon in Libra. So when he gets to the other plantation, the Harvey plantation, it's full of love. It's full of excitement. Everybody's there. Everybody's happy to see him. He sees the wife. He sees the kids. He didn't think he would see them at first, but everything is going smooth sailing. That's what it looks like when he gets there. Give me, like, he didn't think he would go see him. So the fact that he see his wife and his kids is different. But out of the 7, 3 of them was sold. I think 3 of the older ones were sold. That's why it looked like Tom was the oldest and yada, yada, yada. 3 of the oldest ones was sold. Give me his energy when he gets to the Maury plantation. The 5 of Swords in reverse. So he's relieved because he thought that they probably, like, the dad sold them, so they may have probably been sold somewhere else, and they wasn't. So he's relieved when he gets there. But then it's the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's very hard when he gets there. There's no work. There's no food. Farming is bad. Plantation look bad. It's just bad. It's just bad over there. Bad energy. Nobody wants to work with anybody. Just bad energy. Look, 5 of Pentacles. He sees his children basically out there to the fields trying to grow crops. It's pretty bad when he gets to that plantation. It's poor over there. They barely have crops. The kids look bad. Everything is looking bad. The animals looking bad when he gets there. And so when he gets there, he gets depressed. And I feel energetically he gets depressed because he finds out 3 of the oldest children out of the 7 is sold. So now there's Tom and the other 4 left. Okay? So that energy comes through. When the slavery was over, I just want to ask real quick. When slavery was over, did Chicken George reunite with the other 3 children? Did they reunite or find the other 3 children once slavery was over? This is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like he never found them. The Six of Pentacles. Oh yeah, I feel like they weren't found. That's sad to hear. Yeah. Then the Devil card. They were never found. Yeah. He, like, even as I'm saying it now, he's getting sad thinking about it. I feel like, yes, of course, maybe in the afterlife they were found. I didn't ask. Wants to withdraw from the situation. And so this situation he will forever judge himself because of this situation. Spirit just said he will forever judge Tom Moore. He will forever judge Tom Moore. So I feel like physically he's never found the other three. He never found them. Two of Pentacles, memories, being able to never find them. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse, never having that opportunity to find them either. Him thinking bad and evil of the daddy, breaking promises and lying. Him crying and emotionally sad. And this is the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Crying, emotionless, sad, trapped, enslaved, judgment. All right. All right, give me the energy towards Chicken George and Matilda when he first... Oh, different cards. Give me the energy with Chicken George and Matilda when he first gets back to the Harvey plantation. Give me the energy around them. Look, the World. So they were happy that they found each other again. They never thought they would see each other, but they were meant to find each other again. A joyous, happy connection. But Chicken George is still in that energy like, well, you guys are not free. I'm free, but you guys, my family's not free. So I still don't feel man enough. I still don't feel like I'm an emperor. I still don't feel like I've conquered everything. I'm not as overwhelmed because I'm here, and I'm glad that we can see each other because we haven't seen each other in years and I miss you, but I still don't feel like a proper husband because I can't get you guys free. So there's still sorrow, there's still sadness, there's still not being able to get to the wife, make love to the wife, be passionate with the wife when he wanted to. It was like, okay, he had to wait on them. He had to wait and work with them. So there's still this sadness. Also see the energy of Chicken George having to leave that plantation again with the Sun in reverse and leave his family behind again. So it's true what they're talking about in the story. Losing patience with this shit. All this hard work and it doesn't mean nothing. Being lied to. Going within, getting mad again at the father. No balance. So it was tough. It was tougher than what it's looking like. It was tougher than what it looked like. All right. All right, hold on. I'm looking at my phone. It went blank so I could finish my other questions. All right. All right. Tom Moore. Why did Tom Moore sell Kizzy and the children and not Kizzy? All right. Why did Tom Moore sell Chicken George and his children and not Kizzy? Why did Tom Moore sell Chicken George and his children and not Kizzy? The reason why he didn't sell Kizzy is because she was older. She wasn't young and youthful. Look, this is the Empress in reverse. I'm just reading it as I see it, and this is his reasons. I also feel like nobody kind of wanted to buy Kizzy. Like, she was older. She wasn't young anymore. She wasn't youthful. I hate to sound like this because I sound like one of them, but that's what the card is saying. The family was youthful. Okay, the kids are young. It's young bucks. It's plenty of opportunity. Money is needed. There's plenty of options. There was a lot of offers for this family. He made at least $3,000 in 18 something, 1840, 1850, that's a lot of money. And so he made $3,000 for them. And so, believe it or not, this kind of killed Tom Moore. Believe it or not, I know, you know, he's the white man. He's selling them. He's the slave owner. He's also the grandfather. This is kind of killing him, but it shows the energy of him needing the money. He felt like, okay, it wasn't unfair, but this shows the energy of him needing the money. I want to know, did Kizzy pass before he sold Matilda and her children? Did Kizzy pass before? Did she pass away before he sold the children and Matilda? No, I feel like she was still living when he did it. Yep, I feel like she was still living. Of course, there was judgment. She was still living. I also feel like this was Tom Moore's wife idea as well, to sell the children. I feel like Kizzy was still living and it was nothing done about it. Oh, I feel like she passed away right after, though. She passed right after. Yeah. Right after. She passed right after. All right, next question. Okay, so Chicken George was sold. Chicken George had to pay off a debt for Tom Moore. I feel like they set Tom Moore up to lose just so they could take Chicken George. Is this true, Spirit? Did they set Tom Moore up to lose on purpose just so they could take Chicken George because he was good? It's not showing me that he was set up. I feel like he really made a choice. I feel like he made a wrong choice picking the wrong bird that day. That's what it sounded like. And he lost. And so he had to pay off that loss. It was an opportunity for the guy that wanted Chicken George. It was an opportunity, but it doesn't look like he set it up. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't look like he set it up. It looked like Chicken George lost and he had to leave. This was first. He had to leave. He didn't make it happen with the chicken and he had to travel and leave. Yeah, this made Kizzy upset. His wife, actually. That's what I'm seeing. And he couldn't take it back. All right. Wow. Sad to hear. Sad to hear. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Next question. How long was George really in England? How long was George really in England? How long was he really in England? Then we're going to start talking about Tom. How long was Chicken George really in England? It does show him coming back. I see him actually being in England for about 10 to 20 years. That's right. I would say 10 at the least, but I'm seeing 10 to 20 years. Honestly. Wow. All right. Did Tom Moore and Chicken George have a good relationship? Did they have a good relationship? If you guys ever seen any of these movies and y'all have questions about it that I didn't get to ask, leave it in the comments on either one of the videos. I will write it down and I will do one more video at the end of the month answering you guys' questions, okay? So did Chicken George and Tom, his son Tom, have a good relationship together. Their relationship was kind of closed. I feel like Tom Moore closed himself off, and Chicken George just manifested. I feel like Chicken George was always in the yard around the chickens and manifesting and stuff. I ain't gonna front y'all. Their relationship, at first it wasn't the best, but I feel like later it changed. But I don't think they had a good relationship either. Yeah, it's showing me that Tom, because this is Tom's energy, it's showing me that Tom didn't like, I guess, how Chicken George did something with the way Chicken George rules was, the way he handled marriage, the way he handled responsibility, the way he messed up tradition. And so I do see Tom blocking himself off Chicken George and not going forward with their relationship. And I do see it being closed. But I do actually see that it healed. I feel like it healed. I feel like something legally happened with the system, civil rights, something. And their relationship ended up healing later. So later. Not right away. Yeah. I feel like Chicken George helped him with something that was stolen from Tom. Maybe his girl or his relationship. Something that Tom lost. Or Chicken George. Something that somebody lost that brought them closer together. Yep. Yeah. All right. So they didn't have the best relationship. All right. Let's get further into the questions. Now we're going to talk about Tom and his family. Tom and Irene. Tom and Irene. All right. Give me the energy around Tom when he was the slave on the plantation and being a blacksmith. Give me the energy around him and what went on and what went down with him. Whoa. Tom did not have no good. First off, I see that Tom was wow. The first thing I'm gonna say is that Tom always was trying. He was always had to watch his back. Somebody was always trying to take him out or start something with him or sell him or sneak or do something crazy with him. I feel like he didn't work with too many people, and I felt like he just kind of was like, he was rebellious when it came to trying to educate himself. Like I'm almost wanting to say he was like a real slave. Like, I don't want no trouble. I gotta pay attention. I'm distressed. I don't want to be distressed. I'm not confident. I'm not confident. So he was going through that type of energy of not being confident, not being balanced, judging himself and judging people, not feeling spiritually protected, not feeling fulfillment. But I do see him meeting his girlfriend, falling in love, but being trapped. I do feel like he's watched his girlfriend go through situations. But I don't see a bad energy when it comes to Tom. Let me get some more energy. But before, let me back up with Chicken George. I want to pull some channel messages from Chicken George. What's the energy? What was the message would be to Chicken George? What would be Chicken George's message? And how is he feeling on the other side? What's his energy now? And how's he feeling on the other side? Chicken George. Put the phone down. Too much screen time is making it awkward and sad. Go talk to a person. Okay, so I'm Chicken George. Okay, his energy is to people today. Everybody, I noticed that he sees how the people in the world are today. He feels like all people do is talk on their phone, be into social media, looking at their phones. I'm even seeing visions of him like people is walking And I mean, it's just a message. It don't make sense with what the reading is, but this is what he's looking at and at what's going on with us. And he's like, people be walking and crossing the street and looking down on their phone. He like, I done seen people get hit by cars and all kind of stuff when it comes to the phone. He's like, social media is tripping him out. And he's kind of saying he don't know if he would have been the type of person to be into the phones and social media and stuff. That's crazy, but that's his message. He just feels like it's sad with technology and screens and phones and TVs. That's his message. Any more messages from Chicken George? I think I did Kizzy. We did KUNTA KINTE's. He was like, what's the point? And when I do Tom's children, I'm not going to get, because they weren't slaves. The scents and the blinking lights are me. Okay, so that's what he probably is telling his ancestors, and that he hopes they could forgive him. I feel like he's talking to like his ancestors or his children or something. Who is he talking to when he's saying this? Is he talking to like his ancestors that's here or his children's descendants? Or I feel like he could be talking to his children's descendants, trying to speak through them. Or I feel like his 3 children that were sold off as slaves, I feel like they may have reincarnated and he's talking to them. Who is he talking to? The sense and the blinking lights are me. Who is he talking to? Yeah, I feel like it could be a woman that's not paying attention. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it could be a woman that's not paying attention. It could be like an ancestor or a child. It's a woman that's not paying attention. I feel like it's a woman grandchild or great-grandchild or something. All right, Chicken George. Thank you for the message to the new generation. Okay. So let's keep going with Tom Moore. I got another surprise reading. I think y'all gonna like that one too. All right. So I felt like Tom had to sneak and hide a lot. I felt like a Ku Klux Klan because, he was still alive. I mean, he was one of the first grandchildren to be the first to be freed. So I feel like definitely around the time slavery was over and during slavery, he hid out a lot. He had to watch his life a lot. People were out to try to kill him and hate on him, and he had to run a lot in his life. All right. Questions about Tom. All right. Let me see. Give me the energy around Tom when he was a slave. And then we're going to talk about after. Wake up call. I said it. Then DNA came out. I said it earlier. I said that Tom was in that energy where he was like a faithful slave, trying to be the best slave, and then something happened where he got a wake-up call and switched up. Give me one more card when it comes to Tom during his slavery. Okay, I feel like whatever set Tom off. Okay, first he loved music and stuff like that. That's cool, but I feel like drums or some type of music set him off to be changed. And then he started like fighting back and attacking. Give me more energy around Tom. Always emotionally sad and crying and upset, depressed. And always having bad nightmares. It was a lot. It was a lot of fear. It was a lot of not feeling safe. It was a lot of hiding. It was a lot of like killing. I'm even hearing the energy of Tom saying I had to take certain people's life because Tom was he was a slave around the time during the Civil War. So give me the energy around that, Tom. Around the time you was a slave around the Civil War. I noticed out of everybody's KUNTA KINTE cards is bad and Kizzy cards is bad. Tom's cards is bad too. Chicken George cards aren't as bad. Tom cards are bad too when it comes to slavery. Give me 2 more cards. See, the cards don't even want to barely stay in my hand correctly. Trying to let go. Trying to let go and trusting in his intuition. Which, that's hard. That's hard to do then. That's hard. All right, let me pull 2 more cards when it comes to that, Tom. Having a baby around that time and that was his escape. Having a baby, and that made him feel happy, but he didn't feel like he had a connection with his wife in the situation, but he just didn't feel love from the world. Like, there was a lot of guilt. Like, maybe I shouldn't have brought a baby into the world. You know, there's no love in this world. You're going to have to run and fight all the time. You know, I think I made that same energy like KUNTA when his baby was on the way. So let's get into my questions. Let's get into the questions. Not a good energy then. Not a good energy. Pretty sad too. Depression. Like straight demon shit going on right there. Torture. KKK. Because the KKK begin and then they went away for a while. Thanks to like Grant and the military being sent down there doing reconstruction and the law. So they went away for a while, but then I felt like 15 years later they came back. All right. Let's go to the questions. Did Tom get a whipping? All right, hold on. Tom and Irene. There was a white guy in the movie who Tom had to kill with his bare hands because this white guy was assaulting Irene. Is this situation true? Is this situation true? I feel like it is. I feel like there was a older white man, because in the movie the white man was younger, but I feel like in real life there was a older white man who tried to that did assault his wife, and I feel like secretively Tom took him out. He took his life. Yep. And he had to make a new choice. Yeah. Never felt so free when he took his life. I feel like, unfortunately, Irene, the wife, was raped. Unfortunately. I feel like she was raped. So I feel like he did walk in on the middle of his wife getting raped, and he had to take the man out. I mean, look, him and his wife was happy, and it was a big secret, and the family celebrated this stuff, but this kind of put a depression and a sadness on the wife, which is Irene. But the Two of Swords is in reverse. So the good news is she didn't let it imprison her mind. She didn't let it get to her. And it could have been because our man killed him right in front of her afterwards. But I feel like she didn't let it stick to her. She didn't let it drive her crazy. None of that. She went going, made a new start, and made it like, so yeah, I feel like it's true. And then, yeah, she didn't, because some people get raped and then they can't never get over it. I feel like she did because she protected herself. She was protected and her husband made her feel safe. So she ended up moving on from that situation. What I mean by that is not, some people just let it get to the, like some people end up going to therapy, counseling, never getting over it, not being the same. She was able to manifest out of that, okay? So that's true. All right, next question. Did Tom get a whipping from the white people in the town because they were the KKK? But like I said earlier, Tom had to worry about a lot of people stealing his crops, fighting a lot of people, the KKK destroying him, sneaking, running, killing. He had to do all that. And so what happened was they came and destroyed the crops. He didn't know who it was because they had the things over their face, but he figured it out by the horseshoes because he was a blacksmith. And so in the movie, he went and reported them, And, you know, they was about to arrest the guy, but of course the cops was the KKK too. So he kind of warned them, like, you got to get rid of Tom or I'm gonna have to arrest you. You got to get rid of Tom, or you got to either get rid of him or try to find some way to make him pull the evidence back. Because he came in with evidence. And so they beat him and stuff. My energy around that, the question is, did Tom get a whooping for reporting to the white police who destroyed their crops? By reporting to the white police about the right person that destroyed their crops. Is this true? Is this true? Page of Swords. Oh my goodness. I'm going to keep going. Wow. It's true, y'all. Page of Swords. Clarity. Truth. Honesty. Real, like, this situation happened. He did his research. He found out. He reported them and this is the evidence. He took them to evidence. This is his wife being worried and scared that he's not going to be protected. And this is actually him being unprotected. This is all of them coming up on him, ganging up on him, and he's not shielded. So they're able to get to him. They're able to whip him. The wife is sad, but he's okay. He didn't die. Their connection grows even more. But then they're stuck and they really can't move. So it looks like that part is true. It looks like that part is true. And then I see Chicken George comes back. Chicken George come back. Then a happy moment comes. And then they feel better, but they still feel like, what's going on? Am I in the daze? Did I just get did we just get robbed? How are we going to get out of this? And then we got to figure out a plan. And so I feel like, yes, they bring them down, but then they get together and create a plan. Okay. It was a little hard for them to create a plan because they was doing a lot of arguing and going back and forth, either Chicken George or Tom, but they did. So it's true. He was destroyed and whipped by them cops, okay? All right. Did they end up, they ended up getting out and getting to Tennessee, but my question is, how did they end up getting out? How did Tom, Irene, the family, Chicken George, Matilda, how did they end up getting out of the Harvey plantation? How did they end up getting out of it? Chicken George. They had to do it. Okay, so it's true. They had to. Chicken George got them out. He opened up something to where they was not blocked. He made something happen to where he unblocked them. And I also feel like he took a book or some rules or something. He tried to do it legally, but they wasn't having it. So they ended up doing it violently. Okay. So they end up sneaking their way out. Yeah. I do feel like this is them. I feel like this is the enemy, the white man trying to block them when they try to do it the right way. And so they tried to manifest to get themselves out, but it was a little hard. But I see them sneaking out. And then the courts, the law, they wasn't being fair to them. So I see them sneaking their way out illegally, which is not really legally. I mean, the law tricked them because they couldn't read and write that well. Or they wasn't, like, they could read and write, but they didn't know too much about the law. But I feel like they didn't close themselves in. They snuck behind the law back and got out and celebrated. Because it was hard for them. They were blocking them. They weren't able to manifest and think of plans and strategic. Like, at first they tried to do it legally, but then they told them no. So they tried to block them, but they couldn't. So Chicken George made a sneak way for them to get out and do it, and they did. So yeah. So they ended up getting out. All right, give me Tom Moore's message. What message would he like to say about himself, to the people, his ancestors, I can't say his children because he's probably like connecting with them now, but to the world, to us. Chicken George was tripping off everybody in technology. What does Tom have to say? Chicken George, son. Squeeze. He feel like the world needs a hug. The world needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. And make it rain. There's an opportunity for the world to make money. People need to get over themselves and get it together and get money. So Tom energy is different. Let's get another message. Then I want to talk about Chicken George and Matilda relationship real quick, and then we'll get on. Okay. Tom Moore. Let's get your relationship, Chicken George's son. Tom Harvey. That's what his name changed to. He was saying that sometimes when he was here, he didn't really know what to do. It was just really confusing, and there was a lot of things that he was wrong about, and he apologized, and he was his energy is kind of like KUNTA's a little bit. Like this was like, what is the point of this? I wasn't happy. I was always in sorrow. It wasn't fair. Happiness is bullshit. This is a betrayal. This is like being born into this slavery is a betrayal. Things wasn't fair. It isn't fair. I was never happy. This was a betrayal. So, yeah. All right, let's talk about, oh, yes. I want to know the energy around Chicken George when him and Matilda got married and got together. And then we'll talk about Tom and Irene's daughter, Cynthia. And then we'll go from there. Give me the energy around Chicken George and Matilda, when they got together. Okay, new start. They didn't really have disagreements and arguments and stuff like that. Okay, I feel like most of their marriage, they were not together most of their marriage when they were together. But when they were together, they were happy, they were a family, they got along. I feel like there were many nights where Matilda was overwhelmed, Chicken George too, because they wasn't able to be together. They didn't get to connect like they wanted to that much in this life. So I actually feel like Chicken George and Matilda will come back in another life being a couple. That's what my energy is saying. But I feel like most of their marriage, they wasn't together. And I mean like physically. But when they was, it was glorious. I feel like they didn't really get to talk and communicate and connect like they wanted to. I feel like who passed away first, Matilda or George? I feel like whoever passed away first in the marriage didn't get a chance to be happy, like spend time in the marriage. They wish they could have spent more time together in their marriage before they passed on. So I feel like Matilda was always trapped and is suffering and in silence and horny. And I just said horny, then passion came out. And she sacrificed a lot in this marriage with Chicken George. She really sacrificed a lot of loneliness. And yeah, she sacrificed a lot. And she just has that energy like where she's always mad at the white man for what they did to her marriage. And her marriage never got to be like, they were always close. They never got to spend time together. Their relationship was always stuck. And so they were always not a family and always balanced. So I feel like Matilda had a lot of patience when she was living and when she was married and dealing with Chicken George, because she really never had her husband like she wanted to. Give me Matilda's message. I feel like her and Chicken George may come back and try again. Are they together right now in the afterlife with each other? Give me Matilda's message. Stop obsessing. You are not the fucking center of the universe. Don't fucking force it. Allow that shit to come to you. So that's how she was when she was with her marriage, like with him. They loved each other. It's like it wasn't his fault. Yeah. All right, 2 more cards for Matilda, and then we'll talk about Tom and Irene's daughter, Bertha. Or no, Bertha was a daughter. Cynthia and her husband. Some part of her knew. She regret their poor choices. I watched you with your family. Yeah. I feel like most of this marriage, she didn't get a chance to be married. But I feel like, are you and Chicken George in the afterlife right now? Like, being together and being happy, Matilda? My camera tripping. Are you and Chicken George in an afterlife being happy? All right, Matilda, give me the energy around you. Give me the energy around. Give me your energy around then, Matilda. What I do on my phone? Give me the energy around you, Matilda. Y'all, I'm so tired of paying bills, y'all. I paused the video real quick just to pay another freaking bill. Give me the energy around you, Matilda. Grounding. I just said all this about Matilda. She was always grounded. She had a patient personality. She was calm. She connected with the nature, the earths, the winds. She was a patient wife. Patient wife. All right. Let me get the energy around Irene. And then we'll start talking about Bertha. Cynthia, I'm sorry. Tom and Irene, daughter Cynthia. Irene was a rebel too. She was a rebel. I felt like she really looked up to Kizzy. She wanted to be like Kizzy. She paid attention to her grandmother-in-law. She liked her rebel spirit and she liked her energy. That's what I'm feeling from Irene energy. Like, man, Kizzy, I like adored Kizzy. That's what she's saying. All right. Let's go a little further, y'all. Let's talk about, because I got like 10, 20 minutes here on this video. Let's talk about Tom and Irene, daughter Cynthia. And let's talk about the energy around Cynthia when she was born. And give me the energy around her. Okay. The first thing I'm going to say, the energy around when Tom and Irene had Cynthia, there was a lot of fear and closed energy when they had her. I feel like there was a lot of fear because she was born right after the I'm sorry, you guys, just a moment. I feel like she was born right after. I feel like she was born like right after slavery it was over. So right after the Civil War ended. So it was a lot of fear, a lot of closed energy. The judgment's in reverse, so it's a happy feeling of somebody being born and we not have to worry about that person being a slave or being owned and stuff like that. That's the first thing I see. Give me one more card. There was a protection around her. That's her birth energy is weird to me, but let's pull some cards. Give me the energy around Bertha when she was born. Not Bertha, I'm sorry, Cynthia. Give me the energy around Cynthia when Tom and Irene had Cynthia. Give me the energy around her. It was something about Cynthia's birth that really wasn't like, I feel like there was a lot going on. It was like, this is not a good time. Something is not right now. I also feel like Tom and Irene were not really connecting like they should. It was something about her birth that was like off. I keep feeling the fear around her birth. The judgment came out in reverse twice. Like, this is weird, angels. All right, let's dig into this. What does this mean around her birth? Let's pull a card on that. Hate when I get stuck like this. Give me the energy around the time that Cynthia was born. Okay. It's something about when Cynthia was born, this wasn't a good choice. This was a bad idea. I also feel like they were traveling around the world around the time that she was born. So it was a lot of, they were afraid for her. Like she was going to pass, or she wasn't going to make it, or it wasn't the right time to be born. So I'm assuming that they were traveling when she was born. Yeah. Like, it's an energy of her almost not making it. That's what I'm seeing. The energy of her almost not making it. Came out again in reverse. And this is a woman that's pregnant both times. Wow. I'm still getting the energy of it was not really a good time when she was here. Wow. Trying to think, like, Spirit, what other card can I pull on that? I'm gonna just pull the Rebel deck, and then we'll move further. We'll move on. We'll move on. It's a definitely energy of like her not supposed to be here, or not a good time. Traveling around the world. My cards keep falling too when it comes to this, to what's her name. Come on. It don't never take this long to pick a card up. Come on. Look, I almost bent. See, something ain't right with this energy. Look how I almost bent my card trying to pick it up. Look at that. All right, I'm going to pull 2 more cards on this shit, and I'm going to let it go, because I'm really trying to find out why. Why is it a bad energy around her birth? Why? Okay, maybe she whined and crying too much. Maybe she cried and whined or something too much. It's not telling me why was it not a good thing around the time she was born. Let me see. Maybe I can find out in the Orisha deck. Why was it a bad time around the time that Cynthia was born? It's coming out again. They were just traveling. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is the first time I'm confused. And I want to figure it out. That's why I'm quiet, because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm itching too, so it's like I feel like I'm trying to figure it out, and I feel like whatever energy is around this may not want me to figure it out. I don't know. Only thing I keep getting is traveling, tired. Maybe we should have settled first before, something like that. Not a happy situation. I also feel like Irene and Tom were having issues in their marriage too. Just not a happy situation. I can also feel like maybe other siblings wasn't happy about it, or it's just something that's not a good energy around the time she was born. But let's go further. My fucking car tore up trying to get it off the ground. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? All right. Let's talk about the relationship between Cynthia and Will Palmer when they had Bertha. Let's talk about that, because we're about to end this reading here. I've talked about the major things that needed to be talked about. Give me the energy around Cynthia and Will Palmer when they had Bertha. Give me the energy around their relationship as well, Spirit, Cynthia, and Will Palmer. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like Cynthia, which is the daughter, and Will Palmer didn't have a communication or a connection, to be honest. I'm getting the Five of Wands in reverse, so I feel like they never had arguments and disagreements, and like they were okay with that. No arguments, no disagreements, no family involved, no fighting, none of that jazz, right? But there's an energy around the guy, Will Palmer, not being really affectionate or physically, sexually, or passionate about the connection. It just shows him always holding back. And I feel like maybe the family or what's Cynthia was over it. And I feel like they just kept going forward in the relationship. They kept going. I feel like, well, who? I feel like the guy, Will Palmer. Okay, the energy gives me that he was tall, handsome, very sophisticated, mature, know what he wants, a leader. It shows me that, but it shows that he always kind of stressed her out because he didn't communicate. He didn't really know how to connect emotionally. He wasn't passionately available. I'm getting the energy like she had to beg for dick often. Like, I'm horny, I want something tonight. He didn't communicate well. Like, he was closed off. I feel like, yeah, he passed away before her. I feel like, yeah, they got married and he made money and they built strength and made the connection work. So I feel like they still made it work. But I feel like Cynthia wasn't a happy wife. Happy financially, but not stability wise, not emotional wise. And the thing is, I'm seeing the energy that he loved her, but he just didn't know how to be that affectionate type of husband. But I don't see her leaving, and I just see her being guarded, and I see this being an emotional, affectionate relationship, but I don't see her leaving. I even see as he gets old, he's still kind of the same way, stubborn, not really romantic, don't really have interest to go outside of where he's at. And I feel like there was times it was overwhelming for her and stuff like that, but she got through it. All right, give me the energy around them when they had Bertha, which is Alex Haley's mom. Give me the energy around them when they had Bertha, the 6th generation grandchild of KUNTA KINTE. Give me the energy around them when they had Bertha. Whoa. Not a fulfilling time. And then I also feel like something tragically or sad was going on in the home. Whether somebody had just passed away, whether the food or like money wasn't that good, whether things were going like still and not the best. I feel like, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it wasn't a good energy around the home when she was born. So this is crazy. That's all I can say. Let me keep going. 1 second, y'all. Alrighty, let's keep going. All right, let me see. But they were a happy family, especially financially. Like he was a financial providing type of husband. He was a financial provider, definitely that. But I feel like he had secrets. He started opening up more in the relationship and being more committed as time went by, though. But I feel like he had secrets. What was the secrets? I feel like the connection wasn't there no more, and maybe they had separated but didn't legally divorce. Because I felt like Bertha lost patience for this relationship, but he was a hardworking man. He just wasn't a balanced husband and didn't give her the world, and they didn't really have a good connection. But around the time that Bertha was born, so I feel like, yes, he died. They never divorced, and Cynthia, Tom's daughter, ended up being a rich widow. if not rich, just she was financially left off, a financially left off widow. But I feel like he wasn't good at communicating, showing affection, connecting. I feel like he had secrets. So I feel like maybe there were other women. I feel like the energy wasn't the best when Bertha was born, but I feel like it's not because they didn't want kids. I just feel like they were always worried about the energy of the white man or the sad situations or that type of stuff, you know. But it does show him being a financial provider, okay? What message would Bertha like to say? No, yeah, Cynthia, I'm sorry, Cynthia. What message would Cynthia like to say to us? Which message would Cynthia like to say to us? Shit could get ugly. Watch out. You are being shady. Have you eaten? Alrighty. Alright, let's get some other messages. Not really much in these cards. At least this is not talking to like us. Alrighty. Alright, what messages would Cynthia like to say? I'm learning so much. Please acknowledge me. I know you have trouble trusting. I feel like she's talking to the husband that she was married to. I feel like he was so closed off. I don't want to get too deep into why he was closed off. All right, give me the energy around Bertha growing up and settling down with Simon Haley. Give me the energy around their daughter Bertha growing up and settling down with Simon Haley. Wow. So Bertha grew up, this is the son. Bertha grew up a happy child, blessed, spoiled, always getting what she wants. Like passionately admired, had a lot of opportunities, had a lot of great ideas, went after her goals and her dreams. Go, Bertha. I feel like this is her father. He was very protective, very strict, very strict. Very protect. I just said protective. Very protective. Very strict. Almost kind of followed her wherever she went. I feel like he had financial issues a little bit, but I feel like the father went in debt trying to support his daughter. I feel like she was always having stomach issues when she was born. I feel like she always, because remember, Cynthia, now Bertha is a daughter. Remember, Bertha died before Cynthia. So Cynthia had her daughter. Her daughter died before her. I mean, way before. I mean, Cynthia, her daughter died in her 20s. And then Cynthia was an old woman because she even lived to see Alex Haley be an adult. She, like Alex Haley's grandmother. And so I feel like what the energy is saying is she always has stomach problems. She always, so I feel like maybe stomach cancer is what she passed from. And now remember, you guys, I don't do readings on health on the channel, okay? All right. Give me the energy around Cynthia when she went off to college and met Simon Haley. She was young, having fun, exploring. She met Simon Haley. They were both young. He had a big crush on her. I feel like they both knew from the beginning that they wanted to be a family. Now, out of all the relationships, Bertha and Simon Haley got the best card so far. They both knew when they met that they wanted to be a family. So they got together with plans. They got together with plans to finish school, be together, like each other, have kids, and be a family. They had plans. Their plans were delayed a little bit as far as getting out there and making it happen as faster. But I feel like he did it. I feel like it took time, but he did it. It took him a time to get out of trap too, because he was still, I feel like his parents were still enslaved in their minds. So that took him a while to get out of. Money too is what held him back. Money too. Simon didn't have the money, or it could have been Bertha, but I just said her father was rich. So I feel like money held them back from being together like they wanted to faster. I feel like, yes, they did end up getting together, but not as fast. It took them a little time. I feel like, yeah, somebody tried to block them, but they ended up getting past that and being fulfilled. Yeah, I feel like they wanted to commit sooner, and they didn't get to do it fast enough. I feel like it took them another year or two before they was able to commit like they wanted to. Yeah. I feel like Simon's mother passed. I felt like financially it wasn't the best on Simon's part. I felt like a lot of things held them back, but then they eventually got together and made it happen. All right. All right, let me get the energy around Bertha and Simon Haley when they had Alex Haley, and then I'm going to end the reading here because I'm actually going to do a reading about Alex Haley by himself, okay? Give me the energy around Bertha and Simon Haley when they had Alex Haley. They were finally not blocked. They finally had that opening to be together and have that family. Now, I feel like there was no hope from the family. I feel like maybe Bertha's side or just family in general. The family didn't have hope in the relationship. And I'm actually seeing people in the family, and I don't know which side, that didn't want them together. But I feel like Simon passionately went after what he wanted with his wife. Oh, okay. Here we go. I feel like it was Bertha dad who didn't have hope and faith in this and that didn't want them together. He felt like Simon Haley was sneaky and didn't have nothing to offer and was going to stress his daughter out mentally because he didn't have any plans, okay? But Simon Haley shows up being patient, not leaving his Bertha no matter what, and then here they go getting married. I feel like it took a lot of emotional strength for them to pull it together. In fact, I feel like they had to move from where they were from to be together and start their family, okay? Because a lot of people didn't support this union with them. They got married anyway. I feel like at first Simon didn't really have any money or wasn't able to be a provider and take care of Bertha. But he ended up doing so. Yeah, I feel like he ended up doing so later. All right, I do have one more question. I would like to know what was the energy like when Bertha passed away and Simon had to raise the 3 boys by himself. Was they with Simon mostly or was they with Cynthia mostly? Because, you know, Cynthia, which is the grandmother, she had to help Simon take care of the 3 boys when Bertha died. You know, and it's tragic, you know, when you lose your child before you, but it's even more beautiful when you have 3 grandbabies because she only had 1 child, which was her. But it's unfortunate when you lose a child, but then when you have 3 grandbabies of hers to take care of, that brings you joy, right? So give me the energy around when Bertha died and Cynthia around her grandchildren and the energy around Simon. What was the energy around Simon Haley when Bertha died? Of course, he did not want her to die. He wanted to rewind the relationship, go forward. You know how somebody go forward backwards in their head? That was his first energy around it. He had lost confidence. He lost confidence. He felt like he lost his love. She could have been a fire sign, Bertha. He had to find a way to pick up with his family and start all over again. He lost, like, yeah, he was sad romantically. He was mad. I see an energy of him being upset with her because she hid from him what was wrong with her. So I do see an energy of him feeling robbed and people not, and the family not telling him what's going on. And he has no choice but to leave Bertha because she's not here. Give me the energy around the children and Cynthia taking care of Alex Haley and his brothers. Ooh, okay. You know, like I said, Cynthia is sad because her daughter Bertha is passed away. Okay. Now she's even more sad because her husband's not there to help her with the boys. And so I actually see Cynthia and them traveling to be there for the kids. I also feel like I do feel like there was financial problems though. I feel like Cynthia was having financial problems and Alex Haley had them too. But he was able to come through and help with something. And then I also see the energy of Bertha coming through in spirit, trying to help her mother with the kids. I'm trying to figure out who's not patient. I feel like Simon Haley was losing patience with something. That card fell on the ground. Jesus Christ. Wanting to bring the home back, getting impatient, stressed out because the home is broken up and he just keeps having reflecting thoughts about the home being back together. Like, erase this robbery that I'm suffering. Rewind me having to leave my wife. Like, rewind that. Bring it back. Like, so he just keeps rewinding the scenarios in his head. Wanting to go backwards. Wanting to not be single. Wanting his wife back. Yeah. So I'm going to end the reading here, you guys. Thank you for checking me out. I'm going to jump right into the next reading. Have a good day, you guys.